Drew Timme, what more can you say? Preseason National Player of the Year in pretty much every publication. I've had a chance to go down to practice a couple times. Yeah, he's playing with a determination that you don't probably always see in Players of the Year candidates that are returning with the accolades that he has. I mean, it's been impressive to watch him really kind of go after it. Uh, Same footwork. He's tried to extend his range to 3-point line a little bit. And I don't think that's going to come into play a crazy amount this year, but it's something that he has to do to prove to NBA front offices that he can knock down a corner three or have the ability to hit a trail three or a pick and pop three. But that's not going to be a huge focus. He's going to be a tremendous playmaker from the post, whether it's low block or isolated at the elbows or the nail. I mean, he's going to be the focal point of what they do. Andrew Nemhart, I mean, he might have been the best pick and roll player a season ago in college basketball. I don't see that changing. He looks like as if he's gotten a little bit stronger in the offseason. When I talked to the coaching staff, they thought he's done a really nice job of repping out his jumper, and they're looking for a boost in his ability to knock down threes. I think he shot it around 33% a season ago. I mean, if he can bump that up to 30, 38, 39%, that's going to be a definite bonus for him looking towards an NBA future. But it also helped keep defenses honest because when you look at this roster, I don't see any completely dead knockdown shooters like they had with a Corey Kispert a season ago. Anton Watson, he showed a lot to me in the practices that I've been at. Just because of his experience, he's always in the right spot. And that's something that I don't think the average fan really looks at. But Coach Few and staff are absolutely going to value that. He's going to be in the right spots defensively. He can guard, he can guard 2 through 5 at the college game, which is a huge asset. Offensively, you can go small and put him at the 5. Although I don't think you're going to need to do that this year because you got Timme and Chet Holmgren and a couple other young bigs that might have a chance to make an impact at different points. But again, every great college basketball team needs experience. Anton Watson provides that. It looks like he's past some of his injuries, and so I'm looking for him to have an impactful year. Chet Holmgren, next up, number 1 recruit out of Minnesota, played high school with Jalen Suggs, which is the easy kind of connect the dots to get him to Spokane. But also, he comes to Spokane because he sees how players have developed in Gonzaga's system, whether it was for 1 year, like a Zach Collins, whether it was a 2 years like, 2 or 3 years like a DeMontis Sabonis, a Rui Hachimura, a Brandon Clark. I can only imagine he saw the development of some of those guys and thought, that's something that I want to be a part of, alongside of being a part of a great culture in a program that is knocking on the door of winning a national title, and this may be the year. What you've read about him, seen about him, heard about him, it's all true. Multi-talented. He can score it from almost anywhere on the floor. He's got a great feel for the game. His IQ is tremendous. He can rebound it and push and make plays as a big, very similar to a guard. So that's going to be something fun to watch for Gonzaga fans. A little bit like Rui Hachimura would grab a rebound, push it in transition, and see what happens. Killian Tilly would do the same thing. Chet Holmgren is going to be great at that. But defensively, he can block shots and he can alter shots. I mean, his ability to cover ground is pretty phenomenal, and it's going to be. I would not be surprised to see a couple, 7-8 block games. He may even get a triple double. I know we had a triple double. We've been on triple double watch at different points with Joel Ayayi. He got one last year. Jalen Suggs was close a couple different times, but we might see a triple double with blocks. Be the case with Chet Holmgren. Now we're kind of looking at, to me, those are our 4 entrenched starters. I can see Watson maybe sliding out of that and somebody else stepping in, but I see Watson as the starter to begin the season. The next four guys who I'm going to go through, each one of those have an opportunity to maybe be that fifth starter. But the nice thing for Coach Few and staff, there's so many different ways that they can go. I really like the additions of the freshmen, and I think Rasir Bolton, who I'll touch on first, is this next group of four guys has a chance to be a real impact player. Transfer from Iowa State, where he averaged, around 13, 14 points a game. What I've seen in the practices I've been to is a long, athletic, aggressive, attacking guard at about 6'3", who shoots it a whole heck of a lot better than his numbers at his previous stops. Penn State and Iowa State have shown. Gonzaga stats out everything in practice, from deflections to missed assignments defensively, to shooting percentages. And in talking to the coaches, Bolton has been one of, if not their best, three-point shooter in early season practices. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start. I wouldn't be surprised to see him the first one or two guard off the bench, but he's going to play a big part. Hunter Salas is the next one, another one of the great freshmen. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. I think, if anybody watched the craziness in the kennel or saw some of the highlights, you see the explosiveness. I think his early ability to impact the game is going to be defensively, creating nightmares for opposing guards, because he's that quick, he's that long, he's got great instincts, and then getting out in transition. I mean, you saw the athleticism. He's going to be able to finish. He's tweaked his jump shot a little bit from what I saw with highlight videos when he had committed and signed with Gonzaga. It looks like he's been working on his mechanics, and those mechanics are going to help improve his consistency and his percentages over time. But it takes a while when you change your jump shot to be able to get that repetition and the consistency out of it. Julian Strahler is the next one. He looked terrific in the scrimmage. I think he's a bucket getter, but he's got to figure out exactly where those buckets are going to come from. In high school, he was over a 30-point per game scorer. Gonzaga, you got to be really efficient. So I think he's got to find ways to get out in transition, get an easy bucket in each half, get himself fouled and get to the free throw in each half, find an open three in each half. I mean, you look at it right there, that's 14 points. And if he does those things, he could be a tremendous scorer for this ball club. He might be the one that maybe takes Anton Watson's starting spot and becomes a three, or maybe he's a two. And if that were the case, say you had him at the two, Watson at the three, Timme and Holmgren as your bigs with Andrew Nemhart, who's about 6'4". That is a tremendously big college basketball team with size and length. And you could do some really interesting things defensively, whether it's three-quarter court pressure, whether it's extended zones. You could even pack it in a little bit and dare everybody to shoot over the top. That'd be really interesting to see. The last freshman in this group of four that is a backcourt player, somebody that I think has a tremendous future. He might even be able to slide into a starting spot. Again, you see, a little hesitancy on myself to kind of name, that fifth starter, or maybe even that fourth starter. I think Nemhart, Timme, and Holmgren obviously locked in, but then those other two are really interesting. But Nolan Hickman, saw him play a couple times in high school, and I really like him. I think he's great in the pick and roll, and he will get better as he works on the different reads that they go over in practice. I think his creativity with the ball, his vision, his passing is great. I think he will become a better three-point shooter as he gets comfortable with the college games. His mechanics, his fundamentals are great. It's just a matter of getting up to speed at the college game, but I think he's going to be a real asset to the program, not in years to come, but this year. I think he's that good.